Namaste to all. Let's see another very interesting topic today. And as I tell in all the videos, whatever knowledge I am sharing with you, whatever knowledge I have gained in my life is only due to my Guruji, Swami Ram Swarupji Yogacharya. He is a philosopher of Vedas, Ashtanga Yogi, and a living legend. I have made a separate video about introducing my Guruji for around 8 minutes in a separate video. Request you to see that video for more information on about my Guruji. Okay, the question is, or the topic is, what is the proof that Vedas are from God? Because some people say that you quote Ved mantras from the Vedas itself and say that this mantra says this knowledge is coming from God. So Vedas itself says it is coming from God. That is not the proof which we can accept as a logic. There are some people who have argued or kind of, let's say, put forward questions with me in some discussions. So it's better that I thought like clarify this by way of what knowledge I have gained from my Guruji. So basically, before going to the topic in detail, just I would like to your attention here. Suppose we buy a mobile phone at our house, or we buy a television, we buy a washing machine, we buy a fan, anything. We buy a torch light or tube light, whatever product we buy at from the market. We get a booklet along with that. That booklet is the user manual, or that booklet will contain everything. Even if you buy a car, there will be a booklet which says what is inside the car, how to. It will not tell how to drive, but it will tell everything starting from maintenance, what to do, what not to do, everything A to Z it will tell. So similar, this is a very fundamental knowledge of a human being. When a human being thought, I have to make something or I have to buy something, I need to know the information about what product I am going to buy. Similarly, the guy who is selling also has thought about that if I am selling this product, I have to tell that how to use this product or what is this product. Is this a logical or not? Is it being followed now in present world or not? This is being followed right from the day when engineering industry started. Whenever you buy a product or whenever you go to a shop, the shopkeeper will tell how to use the product. Now the pamphlets have come in, or e-books have come in, etc. So we have to understand this universe is created by Almighty God, and Vedas are knowledge given by God as a part of creation. Because this creation, how do we know what we are supposed to do in this creation? How do we know how to cook a food? Even that also we will not know unless this knowledge is given, because anybody, any person can never gain any knowledge without that knowledge is being given by somebody else. I am speaking to you in an English language. My mother tongue is something else. I learnt English in school, in colleges, and then I am able to speak because I learnt it from someone. I learnt it from the school. I learnt it from the teacher. So similarly, in this creation, in every creation, apart from the creation, along with the creation, the knowledge has to be given on what is the purpose of your life. How do you eat food? What you should do when you are getting hungry? How every knowledge, all the knowledge has to be given as a manual. Let's say I am telling manual because for you to understand in a easier language, but in Vedas that knowledge is called as Ved Gyan. So God creates this universe. Along with the creation of universe, He creates all the human beings, all the animals, plants, greenery, everything, and then He gives this knowledge to the human beings, the 4 rishis, at the non-sexual creation. So this is the reason why I say, or why we say that God's Vedas are God's knowledge. Maybe it's not appealing to you, but just think about it logically. And number 2 is we have to know that God is all knowing. He knows everything, and He is Sarvajna. He knows everything and He is all knowing. That means past, present, future. He is Drishta. He can see, He knows, He is a witness to everything what is happening around, and He knows each and every one of us, every Jivatma in this universe personally. That is the power of God. And and God is purest entity. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, the Gayatri mantra meaning Bharga means pure. God is pure and God is just. He is He always does justice. He does not favor anyone, he does not do partiality, and he is merciful. And these are some of the qualities. I'm not telling all the qualities, these are some of the qualities. But how do we know these are his qualities? Unless he himself tell these qualities, that this is my quality, this is me. Unless he introduce himself that this is God, how do we know that there is a God? And you can also think that there could not be any God also. I have made many videos, but then again, unless something is created by a creator, nothing gets created by its own. So we have to understand that this universe is also a place where it is created by the Almighty God, and that's why we call him as Almighty God. He creates this universe from the non-alive matter, Prakriti. So who can best describe God as it is? None other than God himself. So we have to call that power as God, whom God himself tells that this is God. Today what we are doing is we are worshipping self-created God, man-created God. Okay, I am creating a temple, this is Sri Ram temple, so this is a God. I have made that temple, so I say this is the God, so we have to worship that. This is not the procedure, this is not the right way, because God is not accepting that. And secondly, Vedas are not books, but I am just telling. Yesterday also I made another video showing the Rig Veda. That for example, this is Rig Veda Sanhita. This is not Veda. This is a book of Rig Veda, which has the printed Ved mantras in it. But I am just telling for you to understand better, because you may not be able to correlate knowledge. But understand. Let's say that the book which explains. That book which contains the same order of things as exist in nature, that book is not violating any laws of nature. That book describes exactly what is happening in nature. This has to be, then this book is logically correct. So similarly, God's knowledge in Vedas explains everything, whatever is happening in nature. It explains that this is what will happen, this is how it is happening, this is why it is happening. And similarly, the knowledge, the book, let's say, understand it as a book. It's not a book, but the book which explains which satisfies the rules of logic. That also we cannot assume anything. There is no imagination in that. The rules of logic. Suppose Big Bang Theory, I have made many videos. You can see that there is an assumption there that all the energy was in one point. But some people may not accept this logic. Like I'm unable to understand this logic, how the energy gets created, etc. So, but the knowledge in Vedas are beyond this kind of questions. Everything is logical, everything is natural, and everything what exists in nature is described as it is. That's why we say that this is God's knowledge. And also there is another discussion that comes up is men, the people, people can automatically grow their memory or grow their ability, and then can write Ved mantras, or can write whatever. It's that nothing is impossible by any person. So Ved mantras could have been written by any human beings over a period of time. This also some people think. But we have to understand, as I told in the start of the video, knowledge unless given can never be gained by anyone. So even today, if you go to dense forest in India or anywhere across the world, you can find tribal groups there, not even able to wear a dress. They don't have any knowledge, because they did not learn any knowledge, or there was no teacher to them to give any knowledge. That is the reason they don't know what. If you give a mobile phone, they will not understand what is a mobile phone. So basically, this is also a proof that men can never be automatically compose Ved mantras, because the knowledge has to be given first in terms of Ved mantras, and then later on Rishi Munis wrote lot of granthas, lot of knowledge from the Vedas. All the Rishi Muni books, Upanishads, Shastras, Mahabharata, Valmiki Ramayana, everything contains the knowledge based on Vedas. But no Rishi Munis have written anything out of their own. Everything is coming from Vedas. So men can never write such a knowledge. But human mind has one unique quality which is also described by God himself, that once a small hint is given, the human mind, human brain is having the capability to expand it million, trillion, billion times. Small knowledge, a small spark is enough. The human brain can grasp it and then put in application and develop it into vast. This is also creation of God, the human brain capacity like this. So, and that's why Patanjali Rishi mentions in his Yoga Shastra that Sa Esha Purvesham Api Guruhu Kalena Navachedat. The Almighty God is the first Guru who gave the knowledge to Purva Rishi, the first four Rishis of this creation. This Almighty God is the Guru, He is the teacher, and He gives the knowledge as of the Vedas. And that is why he says, and also he says that Kalinana Vachedat, this God, because God does not die, even in the Pralaya Kala, even in the time at destruction of this universe, God exists, God is alive, God always exists. So God gives this knowledge of Vedas. So and also we have to understand, yesterday I was telling in the video that there is no stories, there is no itihas, let's say any history in Vedas. The reason is Vedas are part of creation. So Vedas does not contain any history because there is nothing precedence to that. Vedas are given at the time of creation. So if I write a book today, I will say that okay, 100 years back this happened, Albert Einstein came, XY Maxwell was there, Sri Ramanujam gave some formulas. I can give some stories because that was a history. But when this universe gets created, nothing was existing before that. So there is no history. The creation of knowledge also is given in Rig Veda, but that is not a history. That is the science of creation, how this creation happens. God describes the Pralaya Kala, but that is the science on what existed that time. There is no history or story in that. So there are yesterday in one of my video of Kalki Avatar, there was a question by one gentleman, and I had put another video yesterday, but there was a strong feeling inside my mind because I felt that this person is confused in converting to another religion, or probably this person is already converted to another religion and also wanted to understand what is there in Vedic religion. So conversion of religion is not needed because God's knowledge is for all. My Guruji always tells that no need to do any conversion, that if you are a Hindu, you are born as a Christian or Muslim, no need to get converted to any other religion, because Vedas do not belong to any religion. If you are a human being, Vedas are not for dogs and cats, it's for human beings. If you are a human being, Vedic knowledge is equally applicable. So there is no need or necessity to force ourselves to convert to any other religion to believe in God. And also reiterate that the God knowledge is Sarvagnya, He is almighty and all-knowing. So He gives the knowledge at the start of creation. He does not need to send another messenger at between 1000 years, 2000 years, 5000 years back to say that okay, I have made one mistake in the initial book what I sent, now I am correcting it. This is not needed because God's quality is not matching with this. So there is no need for any religious conversion. Thank you so much. I request you to subscribe my channel. I will meet you soon in another interesting video with another topic. Namaste. Om.